Hey guys, Brian here again from Wheeling Cameras. Hope you're all doing well today. Today we've got Sam here from Sony and we're going to talk about some Sony lenses. So Sam, tell me a little bit about the Sony glass.
We have essentially four different types of lenses. You have your initial Sony lens, which is designed to fulfill a certain purpose, such as our 50mm portrait lens. Quite often they're aimed to be affordable, so we try and attract new users to our 50mm f1.8. But from there we go to Sony G Glass. We bought Konica Minolta's imaging arm quite a few years ago now, and we inherited some fantastic factories from them where they used to manufacture Minolta G Glass, and that still lives on today, although of course it's now Sony G Glass. These lenses tend to have a specific purpose, such as a macro lens or a bright zoom. Then from there we have our own in-house premium glass, which is G Master, and G Master glass is our latest and most unique E-mount technology, and it tends to be aimed at future-proofing the product.
Okay.
It's tested with beyond 4K video, it's tested with extremely high-resolution sensors. And then finally we also have a fantastic relationship with Zeiss. Zeiss continue to manufacture and develop Sony E-mount lenses, both in conjunction with us and also in their own separate enterprises as well.
Okay, so within the G Master series you now have the complete lineup pretty much, right? So you're just showing us the 100 to 400mm here. You were using this in the Bravnik?
Yeah, that's
you told me
right.
earlier on?
So yeah, you're right when you say we've got a great lineup, because we have 16mm all the way up to 200mm covered at f2.8, so fixed f.28 lenses, and then beyond that we have two teleconverters, a 1.4 times and a 2 times, and then of course we have the slightly bigger glass. This particular one, this is the 100 to 400, 4.5 to 5.6. It's a great sports lens, so if you want to shoot action of sports, cameras like the A7 Mark III with its 10 frames per second, or even the A9 with its 20 frames per second, fantastic partner for it, and really sort of premium resolution glass, making sure there's no chromatic aberration, making sure that images remain true, either wide angle or telephoto.
Sure, so you were using yourself in the velodrome, was it? You were telling me in
Oh, so yes.
cycling. So how did you find it working yourself with regard to your focusing?
Well, it's extremely fast, and it works directly in conjunction with the autofocus systems which have been developed for our E-mount cameras. And it's fantastically powerful when it comes to, say for example with sports, if you're shooting a cyclist, as we were in the velodromes, you can customise the focus hold buttons on the front of the lens to do whatever you want. And if you've got a cyclist who isn't wearing dark sunglasses and you can see their eye, it's fantastic for using for eye autofocus.
Okay.
Because if you imagine the cyclist is coming towards you quite quickly, your focus length is continuously changing. Holding down the eye autofocus button on the side of the lens will focus on the nearest eye and track it all the way up to the camera. Really useful as well if there's other things in the foreground that could distract the camera normally.
That sounds revolutionary. How have we not had that before?
It is possible on traditional DSLRs, but they tend to use the auto exposure meter to try and find the eye. Not as high as a resolution as a...
It's addictive. You press the button, you get your green box straight on the eye. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And with a mirrorless camera, because you're not using a reflex mirror, you can have edge-to-edge focus points.
Yeah.
You don't have to just centralise them as digital SLRs tend to do.
Yeah, because I was showing a customer a lens the other day, and I said, "This lens is really sharp," and they're like trying to take the picture, like, "Ah, but it's not focus." I was like, "Have you tried the eye focus button?" And then they pressed it and it locked on my eye, and they were like, "Oh wow, I'm going to buy this lens."
Yeah, it's a real wow moment for a lot of people.
It really is. We're also going to mention, because the massive thing with Sony was the ability to adapt other glass.
At Sony, we don't recommend third-party adapters, because there are various different relationships going on.
Of course.
And from personal experience,
yes, that's what I mean. Not as a brand, but as you.
As me, covering the badge.
Sure.
Personally, I have the Sigma. The Sigma MC11, which works very, very well. And again, we were talking about wow moments.
Yeah.
We had these at the photography show, and one of the reasons we had them is so that people with an existing bag of Canon mounted glass could try it on something like an A9 and see how it performs. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to find that every lens works.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that every lens will focus the way that it would do on a Canon, but from personal experience alone, I found the Sigma to be very rewarding. Metabones also produce an adapter, and let's say I have less experience of that adapter myself, purely because I see an awful lot more retailers selling the Sigma. So from a personal point of view only, I've had good experiences using the Sigma.
Okay.
However,
sure.
it's worth saying, obviously,
migrating to the native glass.
if you can afford to, and I appreciate for a lot of people that's a big transition. You might have a few £1,000s worth of lenses. What you've got to remember is once you make that transition, the difference it's going to make with the number of photos you shoot and the number of photos you can use. And to a certain extent, shooting with Sony is maybe about trying to capture the moments that you wouldn't be able to with competitor glass. For example, at the moment we've got Wimbledon going on, and there's a large Sony presence at Wimbledon this year. And part of the reason for that is you can capture images that you can't capture with a digital SLR. The moments I'm talking about is the very, very first serve at Wimbledon when the ball's thrown up in the air and everybody has to remain completely silent. Now, silent shooting is something which is a real core feature of Sony's range of cameras, and if you have a fantastic Sony E-mount lens on the front there, which is absolutely natively designed to the camera, the chances are you are going to get a few more shots.
Okay. Last question. Which one is your favourite lens?
I have a real soft spot for portrait lenses.
Sure.
Recently I've been out shooting an awful lot with our affordable 85mm f1.8. Now we do a beautiful G Master lens, which is an 85mm f1.4, but the key difference between the two, the reason why I carry this is actually weight. At the moment I'm over here in Ireland, I'm living out of a bag. I'd love to bring every lens on the planet, but with this, it gives me a hell of a lot of fantastic portrait photos. We still have the customizable focus hold button, so I can still customize autofocus the lens. Instead of the 11 aperture blades you get in a G Master, it has 9 aperture blades, but the bokeh is still so smooth. And if I get to cheat and choose 2 lenses, we also have the 55mm f1.8 Zeiss, which is an absolute beast of a lens. Nice focal length Zeiss glass with a T-star coating which cuts down on reflections and chromatic aberration, and it's just really well made as well, and extremely compact.
Awesome. Okay, guys, that's Sam from Sony talking a little bit about Sony lenses. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of thing, be sure to watch more of our videos. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.